Hello, welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to be learning how to produce multi-purpose liquid soap with a budget of 6,500 naira. This soap, you can literally use it to do anything, do your dishes, laundry, wash your car, anything. So the first thing you want to do is to locate any chemical shop that sells soap materials around your area. All right, so then you go ahead and tell them how many liters of soap you want to produce: 20 liters, 45 liters, 30 liters, 15 liters, 10 liters. So the reason why you need to tell them the accurate liters is so they can help you with the right measurement for the materials you want to do. So once that is settled, you pack your things and head home, and then we're going to learn how to do them step by step. So once you're home, the first thing you want to do is to get your stuff ready. Now get something that is equivalent to 1 liter. For me, I'm going to be using something like this. So you can also choose to use your 5 liters, but the reason why I'm using this smaller one, which is equivalent to 1 liter, is so I can be able to measure the materials that will be dissolving appropriately. So this is our SLX, and so I'm going to be dissolving it first. It is important to dissolve all the dissolvable materials before starting your production. That way it makes it easier. So I'm going to be dissolving my SLX with 2 liters of water. I already measured the water with that gallon I showed you earlier. Now dissolve your SLX and stir it for some minutes and allow it to settle till the water turns white. Now the next material we're going to be dissolving is our caustic soda and our soda ash. So we're going to be dissolving it in 4 liters of water. Now we're only going to stir this a little and leave it to settle, and when it is finally settled, you're going to notice that the water will become white. Please check description for the measurement for this material. Okay, so the next material we're going to be dissolving inside 2 liters of water is our industrial salt, and our industrial salt serve as a preservative. Yeah, it's going to make your soap stay for like 5 months, 6 months, 7 months, 8 months, depending on the quantity, without getting spoiled. Now just like we did with the rest, stir the industrial salt and allow it to settle. Now to do a recap of all our material, this is our soda ash and our caustic soda. This is our SLX, which is also regarded as rice. This is nitrogen, which we are going to be starting off with next. This is our industrial salt, which we have dissolved in water. Now this is our sulphonic acid, which is number 3, and it is a thickener in soap production. Next up is our formalin, which is also a preservative and our fragrance. Now the last one on our list is our colorant, or dye like we call it. Now it's production time. The first thing you want to do is to get a bath that is equivalent to 20 liters. Remember, we're making 20 liters of soap. Now the first ingredient to go in with is your nitrogen, and this is regarded as number 1 in soap production. So go in with a little amount of water to dissolve your nitrogen. Once you get a smooth texture, you can pour in 8 liters of water and stir till everything comes together, till the textures, everything forms together. I really need to be careful at this stage, because if you are not careful, your soap is going to form lumps, and once it starts forming lumps, this soap is actually not good anymore. So I had this mistake earlier when I started making this particular soap production. I didn't have anyone around to assist me, so I had to go call a neighbor to assist me with the pouring. So the number 2 ingredient we're going in with is our SLX. If you look at this SLX, you notice that the water has really settled and it's coming clean. We no longer have those rough surface. And before you go in with your SLX, ensure that the nitrogen water has like a very smooth texture. Remember to avoid lumps. Now you keep stirring. Make sure you stir the 2 ingredients together until you achieve a very clean, smooth surface and texture too. Always check for the texture before going in with another ingredient. Now I'm going to be stirring this for a longer time to allow the 2 ingredients marry themselves and to give me a very smooth, clean texture. Now once I feel like the 2 ingredients are formed together, I'm going to be going in with the number 3 in soap production. The number 3 in soap production is the sulphonic acid. Yes, so I poured it into a bowl because I want to know exactly what I'm pouring and how it is coming out together, right? So I poured it gradually, and remember, this is our thickener. As you're pouring it in, you notice that the soap is getting thicker, and at this point you need your extra hand to really stir it together so that everything can really come together and none of the ingredients are one side. Now just like we did with the first ingredients that we poured together, we're going to stir this till they all marry themselves together. You're going to stir it for a longer time. Now after that, we're going with our number 4, which is the dissolved soda ash and the caustic soda that we have dissolved earlier. Pour it in, and you can see the soup is really coming in together. Now this is also like foams, it makes the soap really foam. So you notice that the foaming has really increased. Now you need a lot of muscle and a lot of stirring into production, else you're going to have a really messy outcome and your money is just going to waste like that. So keep stirring until you know when everything forms together. You know when, like, okay, yeah, it is at this point that, okay, I'm going to say I've really produced the soap, right? So you're going to keep stirring to ensure that there is no lumps and everything is really coming together. They're marrying each other. I will advise that you stir for another 3 to 4 minutes just to ensure that you're not leaving any stone untouched. So it is time to go in with our preservatives. So I'll be going in first with our industrial salt. Remember, we've dissolved it earlier into liters of water. So I'm going to pour it in gradually, though it still have some blocks in it, like some, you know, hard part of it. But I didn't pour that part because I didn't want to spoil my soap, right? So and I threw away this remaining part here. That was what I did. So at this point that you've really poured the major ingredients in your soap, you're also going to be taking out time to really stir it so that it forms together, so that all the major ingredients that you added, really forms together. Once I'm satisfied, I'm going to be going in with a second preservative, which is the formalin. Formalin is also a preservative and also serve as a foam booster. For some persons, they would rather use a foam booster than a formalin, but I like formalin. Now, for the fragrance, I used sweet lemon. Oh my goodness, I wish there's a way you can perceive through this video to see how sweet and nice this soap really smells. So I'm going to pour it in and then stir. All right, yeah, the whole thing was already giving me the vibe, was already giving me the actual texture and everything I needed. So yeah, because I needed to make this soup for two purposes. I need to have one without the colorant, where I can actually use it to wash my white or clothes that I feel like if I put the green color, it is going to stain on it. So I had to put aside some quantity for that purpose. So at this point, our soap is already ready. Yes. All right. So it is already ready. So you can go ahead and use it like that if you don't want to put colors. But I want to put colors. And so that is why I'm setting aside a quantity. So it is time to go with our colorant or our dye, like we like to call it. So for my soap, I used the green, but I bought 20 grams and I felt like it was really too much. So I didn't use all of it. I just used half of it and I dissolved it in a half liters of water, not even really up to half liters. But this, when you're having your colorant, just take half cup of water to do that. All right. And then pour it in gradually. Check the texture. You might need to put all if you really want it very green, but I didn't want it very green and it really came out really nice. Okay, and that is the half I've set aside for another soap production. So now that we've poured in our color, it is time to really stir it so that the color come together. Instead of giving us multiple colors, it really gives us the color that we want. So you're really going to take your time to stir until you are satisfied. Also, check in for the texture of the water. Remember, I said some persons like to go with foam booster even while after putting formalin, and then at that time, if you feel like it's really thick, you can go in with maybe 1 liters of water, 2 liters of water, right? So this is me smelling it, because man, the sweet lemon fragrance that I used was really coming out clean. And voila, this is the end result of our 20 liters soap production on a budget of 6,500. And guess what? The last time I made 20 liters of soap, I used it for almost 7 months. And this time around, I'm also going to be using it for a longer time. Thank you. And drop a comment.